Hi there, Wheelers. It's time for some closing in on summer news from us at Lavapotion. Now, I want to talk to you a bit about our most recent update and also talk to you about our plans for the upcoming weeks and months. Well, everything leading up to and a little bit over our long anticipated, very Swedish holiday. Now, the launch of our third campaign, focusing on the necromancy-themed human faction Barony of Loth, has been out for a bit more than a month now. And, well, our arms should be tired from all that grave digging and rat carrying, but still had some things planned, more than that, before we take our Swedish little holiday, as I mentioned. Now, our most recent update gave you something that a lot of the community has been asking you about. Something that we worked on alongside with the Loth campaign. But more on that in just a little bit. So what is happening here at Lavapotion? Well, just as always, things are going forward, and going forward pretty smoothly. We did have some small setbacks last update, with people reporting an increased difficulty of loading saves and getting kicked out. Now, we think we have that mostly settled. A lot of us took a lot of time working on the issues, but just like always, if you have any problems with a bug, report it. It's the best way of helping us getting it fixed. Now, summer is closing in quick, and in July, we will be very hard to reach indeed. Most of us will be gone. We'll be doing things like having holidays and dancing around maypoles, going to LARPs, eating strawberries, enjoying Swedish nights without darkness. Basically, think of a movie Midsummer, but without the murder. It's surprisingly accurate. In August, we'll be back in force. And our autumn, or our fall, depending on where you're from, well, it's gonna be hectic. We have things to do about optimization. We have events to go to, Gamescom for one. And we also are working, or going to work on, one major more campaign, the Barrier, our fourth and final. And it will herald the end of our early access. We can't wait. We are also working on AI adventure optimization and sort of reworking a bit on how the AI thinks. It's something that, as we've mentioned before, the AI is always an ongoing work. After all, after each update, it gets something new to think about. We also have a new update coming. It's in about a week. And today, I think we'll launch it on PTR, Public Test Room, for everyone to enjoy. It has a new notable feature, something that we are very proud to introduce, and it's tweaking player settings. And, above all, tweaking difficulty for our players. That means that you, for each individual player, can tweak how hard or easy the game is for you. After all, there's no wrong way of playing a game like ours. It's up to you. Before we head on to our summer update, or summer break, we are gonna have a little theme. We're gonna be launching quite a few videos on the focus with Map Editor. We're going to be teaching you the basics of cartography, so that you have something to do while we're away. But let's get back to our most recent update. It's about 2 weeks old right now when we record this, and I'll do a brief little pitch first and then head into details. And trust me, there will be plenty of them. We're talking optimization and a whole lot of other things. This update got plenty of what we like to call notable additions. We've added new traits and abilities to many of our units. Some have brand new shiny ones, and others have gotten their old ones replaced or updated, but we'll get back to those details in a bit. We added gates to our siege combat, and I promise that this is going to change the way that you and the AI thinks and acts when it comes to sieges in Songs of Conquest. We have also done a lot of balancing work. That's needed because every time we work in new abilities or mix around things, we have to consider what that does to the game at large. For instance, having the Oath Singers of Loth now give a spell buff to damage might change the roles in the game as a whole. But let's talk abilities and traits. I won't go through all the changes because there's so many of them, but I'll do some highlights and personal favorites. And then you can read the changelog linked below for all those details. But let's start with Queen's Guard, our mighty Fey warrior. They now have the Essence Fighter trait, increasing their essence by 1 for every time they attack, up to a maximum of 6, making them some sort of essence fighting battery if they manage to stay alive on the front line. And, well, they're big boys, they can take it. And keeping on the theme of the Fae, let's look at our favorite little guy. The Fae Ragers now have a magic immunity ability, making them untargetable by magic. They also have a Disrupt Essence trait that removes all essences from adjacent enemy troops. Place them just right and you can disrupt your enemy's entire essence plan. Rana has got some cool abilities too. The Adult Crawler has the ability to burrow instead of wait, burrowing underground and emerging anywhere on the battlefield. This sure comes in handy in our new and improved siege combat. Imagine them coming out from behind the walls that sort of disrupt your plan. The Rana Protector now has the ability to bull rush, moving forward across the war-torn battlefield until they hit either a troop or an object. Now remember, they won't rush and attack. These beefy frog-like protectors are more focused on getting into the fight and disrupting it, more than to deal the first punch. But it's perfect for disrupting your opponent's ranged troops. Just remember who you're rushing. Some are mobile and can, well, they're not as disrupted as you might think. And speaking of ranged troops, the Banes of Loth now has the mobile trait and the stealthy trait, making them extremely hard to pin down in a fight. Don't target them with a bull rush. They can kite with the best of them and moving out of combat without getting an attack of opportunity and moving without getting a penalty to their next shot. And these are just a few of my favorites. I haven't even mentioned the new Bombard ability that the Hellroar has. But let's talk about our improved siege combat. With added visuals, new siege maps and our piece de resistance, our gates, the siege combat has taken some large bound forward from where it was. A whole new field of tactics have been added to the battleground, where you have to worry about several layers of defense and, most importantly, sturdy gates that will take more than one punch to take down. You might even want to bring a dragon to the fight if you have that option. All in all, well, we can promise you that fighting a siege is a whole new level than it was before. Taking down a large enemy stronghold with added towers now takes planning and a much stronger force than it did before. We hope you enjoy it. And a word on balancing. This has been done on both units and buildings. Some are more expensive than they were before, and others are cheaper. Some units have increased health, others have had changes done to their max damage. It's a long list, and I doubt anyone wants to hear me rambling the entire list. But as I said, we update the changelog with every update, so go there and just read up on all the little things. Heck, if you're into that kind of thing, make an Excel out of it and really spend some time on it. That said, but this has been a pretty big update. It changes things and affects the gameplay quite a bit for those who feel like diving deep into it. Don't get surprised if you've been away from the game for a while and your units behave a whole lot differently than they did before. That was it from us this time around, but I will see you soon in those before mentioned map tutorial videos. Teaching you the basics of cartography is just a couple of weeks off. Now, we do have one more update before we skedaddle off on our Swedish holiday, and we'll make a post about that too. But if you have any questions you want answered in future videos, or if you have anything special that you want us to highlight, like faction updates or a in-depth view on Essence tactics, let us know in the comments below. We'll look them over and see what we can do. There's one more thing before I say goodbye, and that is, if you like our game, please head on over to Steam and give us a positive review, or just talk to us there. Join Discord and chat us up. It's all fun, and take care of yourself out there, and good luck on all your future adventures. See you soon.